Hello, fourth graders. How are you guys? I hope you're doing well. I thought it'd be fun if we finished our book together. Might as well, right? Um, okay, so we haven't read in quite a long time. So I just want to do like a quick recap of what we had read. Okay, so we have two main characters. We've got Ben and we have Griffin. Griffin is he is having his family is having some financial difficulties. Okay, remember his dad is like an inventor and has this new invention coming out, and he quit his job and they just don't have a lot of money. They might have to move. Okay, Ben is Griffin's best friend, and for like ever they've always been friends, and Ben has always just gone along with all these plans and schemes that Griffin comes up with. Okay, so one of the plans that Griffin came up with was going to the Rockford house. Remember, they're mad because they wanted to make the skate park, but the adults didn't listen to them. So they decided that the night before the Rockford house was to be torn down, they were going to spend the night. And they did. And they got out just in time. Remember that? Yeah. But before they left, Griffin found a Babe Ruth baseball card. And he took it to, I gotta find the name of the Emporium. The Palomino. I feel like that's what it is. Yep, the Palomino, Swindle Palomino is the guy's name. And they nicknamed him Swindle. Palomino's Emporium. They took the card there, and kind of got ripped off, right? They didn't know they got ripped off, but Swindle, what they are now nicknaming S. Palomino, or S. Wendell, he like thinks he's gonna get $1 million or more from this card, and they only gave him like $150, Griffin. So Griffin's come up with another plan, but unlike all the other plans, Ben has said, I can't do it. I'm not doing this plan. And they're kind of like on the outs. They're not really friends right now. So Ben's pretty lonely. He rides his bike past Griffin's house, and remember what he finds? A realtor putting in a yard sign, a for sale sign. And he gets really upset, falls off his bike. The realtor runs over, sees if she can help, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Griffin comes over and says, "It's okay, Mrs. Prompton," that's the real estate agent. "He's my friend." He hustled Ben inside the bathroom and held his injured arm under the running water. "Calm down, man. She's our real estate agent." "Real estate agent?" Ben pulled back from the water, splattering the floor with pink-tinged water. "You mean your house really is for sale? You're moving?" Griffin nodded. "All because I wouldn't do the heist?" "Of course not. Listen." Griffin hadn't really told anybody about the Bing's financial problems. Now Ben listened with rapt attention. "That's why I got so freaked out about the Babe Ruth card." Griffin concluded the whole sad story. "That money would have saved our house. It would let my dad develop his dream. It would change everything for my family. How could I let a sleazy 2-bit con man take all that away?" "I don't know what to say," Ben managed. As awful as these past few days had been, it was nothing compared to what Griffin must have been going through. No wonder he was so obsessed with the heist. He was fighting for his home and his family. Despite this horror at the thought of Griffin moving away, Ben was aware of an even stronger emotion. He'd always wondered what it would be like to be Griffin, to experience the pure, clear sense of purpose that was at the core of his friend's character. In an instant, all his doubts and misgivings about the robbery burned away. What was left was the searing certainty that this was not just the right course of action, but it was the only course of action. "You really think we can pull off this heist?" Ben asked. The man with the plan grinned. Okay, so now they have a plan. Here it is. I'm going to read it to you. The Great Baseball Card Heist. Plan of attack. Number 1, gain access to Swindle's store. 2, locate the safe behind the sales counter. 3, burn a hole in the side of the safe using Dad's blowtorch. 4, return home rich. Major obstacles. 1, a padlocked gate. 2, a 7-foot high fence. 3, security glass on the front door. 4, 3 deadbolts. 5, burglar alarm. How can we learn the keypad code? 6, the X factor. Anybody who wires display cases and bolts a safe to the floor must have a few surprises up their sleeves. Surveillance report. Store hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2, Swindle leaves at 5:30 in a black Honda Element. 3, the assistant manager, Tom Dufferin, closes the shop at 6 o'clock on the nose, Griffin hissed excitedly, making a note on his pad. The two boys were hidden inside the large globe cedar directly across 9th Street from Palomino's Emporium. Come on, Griffin, how about a little wiggle room? Ben complained. I've got a prickly branch up my armpit. They watched as Dufferin got into his car, parked at the curb. Griffin wrote down the make and model as the assistant manager drove away. The two boys emerged from the bush, shaking and stretching cramped limbs. What do you think about that fence? Griffin mused. I think it's a fence around a locked store and a burglar alarm, Ben confirmed. Piece of cake. If you're made of ectoplasm and can walk through walls. Just because we haven't figured it out yet doesn't mean it can't be done, Griffin replied. If you want it bad enough, it'll come to you. They crossed the street and stood before the heavy chain that held the gate shut. Can we climb it? Experimentally, Griffin jammed a toe in the mesh and hoisted himself up. Luther came out of nowhere. The big Doberman launched himself through the air and slammed into the fence opposite Griffin. The shocked boy lost his grip and tumbled into the arms of terrified Ben. The two of them landed flat on their backs on the sidewalk. The monster clung to the mesh by its powerful teeth, snarling and growling. Griffin hauled Ben upright and then scrambled back across 9th Street to the cover of their bush. Griffin pulled out his notebook and wrote Animal Control in large letters across the page. Control that guy? Ben squeaked. I'd settle for not being his lunch. Griffin looked thoughtful. Who knows more about animals than anybody else in this town? Alright, so we're going to stop at chapter 8. And then I just think it'd be fun if we just do this every day. I'm going to post these on Seesaw, so you can just be looking for them, okay? If you guys need anything, please let me know, either through Seesaw, you can email me, and I'll be emailing you guys through your school emails, okay? So I can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye guys.